a little bit more room. Hey, thumb on the football! And a big man scrambling!
Action pass to him. He fires to the top. One-handed catch.
Buchanan Simons is open. Breaks the tackle. This is going to be a 70-yard touchdown. Buchanan Simons.
Over the top, and that might be the most impressive interception all day.
What a shoot.
Breaking through a tackle.
Oh, no.
What a ridiculous sequence of events.
He's got Heath McDaniel Jr. inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Carolina.
The kick is blocked from Zuderveld. It's loose.
How? What?
Welcome to Sim Football pregame alongside Tom Welsh, SFL Director of Communications. I am Cameron Irvine. Tom, welcome in place of Mike St. Green, who is out for one more week on a cruise on vacation. We'll see him after the convention. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great, Cam. How are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Doing fantastic. We'll get to know you a little bit more at halftime, huh? How's that sound? A member of the San Diego Mavericks looking for their first victory. They play later tonight. But we'll get to know Tom a little bit as we go along here. But for now, we've got some spicy matchups today. And here's what they look like. It's Fort Worth and Arizona. Starting next on For the Fans, Denver and Atlanta will kick off in about 45 minutes. Those are our only two games here in our FTF window today. So, Tom, Fort Worth and Arizona, what do you think about this matchup?
You know, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Ashley Jackson bounce back and continue to play well, and looking to see Cam Curtis just kind of come back from a disappointing game that he had last week. So definitely looking forward to getting this game kicked off.
The Denver and Atlanta coming up a little bit later. The defending champs trying to get to 2-0, but Atlanta put up some kind of fight against London last week. How do you see that playing out?
You know, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if Denver can continue to build upon their first week, matchup. Having a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back is definitely very, very hard in this league, as we kind of found out, throughout the weeks, and definitely trying to see how they bounce back and continue to move forward.
This is what SFL action on national TV is all about. Tom Welsh is getting tons of love from the chat for the beard, taking the hair off the head and putting it on the face. I am losing, but definitely easily here today. But it doesn't matter. What does matter is Arizona and Fort Worth on the field, and it comes your way next when the SFL, presented by APM Music on For the Fans, continues. We'll see you in a bit.
for the fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Downtown Phoenix on a Friday afternoon, a beautiful, if a little warm, Friday in the Valley of the Sun. Hello and a very warm welcome to Fatality Field in Phoenix, Arizona for the Friday FTF block of Simulation Football League action. My name is Michael Churillo, and alongside very capable co-host Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine is our producer. We already saw Tom Walsh in the studio with him. Mark Mello and Tristan Hatley are on stats today as well. Charles, welcome in. It's a beautiful day for football.
It's a beautiful day. I'm ready for a great slate of games on Friday. I've got my SPF 100 on. I'm ready to go. We got two teams here in Fort Worth and Arizona. Great coaching, loaded with talent. Last week, Fort Worth regrettably lost. It was a close one, though. Arizona pulled off a big win against Florida. This is going to be a battle to the last minute. I'm looking forward to seeing these.
Two teams that were preseason favorites to potentially make deep playoff runs. Last week, Arizona proved that research in the preseason to be correct as they stunned the Florida Storm. Fort Worth, however, has been made to work for it a little bit, falling in week one to the Queen City Corsairs. Kickoff is coming up in just a second as the home reddish-orange jerseys and white helmets of the Arizona Scorpions will kick off. Kicker Cliff Allen has the ball on the tee. Cade Stevens back deep to receive for the all-yellow clad with blue helmets Fort Worth Toros. The ball is in the air and it's game on here in week two of the SFL's 17th season. And on the return, up to the 28-yard line goes Stevens.
Michael, one of the things I'm going to pay particular attention to in this game is the trenches. I mean, both of these defenses have a history of really putting some pain on the quarterback. It showed last week in the number of sacks for both sides. So let's see how the offensive line pairs up against a defensive rush.
Here's third season quarterback Cameron Curtis under center. Offset eye behind him. He'll drop back to pass. Fire over the middle of the field. That pass is complete on first down. And there is Stephen Hacker, this team's leading receiver a season ago, there to make the catch and move the chains.
It looked like Hacker did a seam route down the middle. That's something that they're going to have to maybe guard him on the line here. Don't play too soft a zone or Hacker's going to kill you all day.
Over 1,300 yards receiving last season for Hacker. Here's a catch out of the backfield on first down from midfield. 7-yard pickup for the running back Jason Williams.
I think the coaches at Fort Worth are hoping to get Jason Williams a little bit more involved in the game. Last game he was a little under 100, but I think they're going to try and get him the ball a little bit more and get those numbers up.
He's going to take the handoff, round the route right side. Excellent block by rookie fullback Aaron Alexander, fresh into the league from the Lexington Miners of the SFL Minor League, and Williams picks up a first down.
Great blocking on the edge there. It's going to be tough running against that defensive line. Let's see, going late into the fourth quarter if that offensive line of Fort Worth can still be making those solid hits against Arizona's line.
I formation, single receiver, right up the middle goes Williams. Tried to spin in the hole, nothing doing. Nice tackle made on the inside by Joey Tropicana. Everett Garrison was in there as well. Here's the defensive starters for the Scorpions. Defensive line is D.D. Sachs, Alex Constantine, Max Knight, and Mark Mello. Joey Tropicana and Sean Moore are the linebackers. Parker Thomas, Iverson Gambrell, and Everett Garrison, who just made that last tackle, are the safeties. Handoff up the middle again and pulled down by Bernard Smith. for no gain. He's one of the safeties, and Eddie Gage, the 15-season veteran, league leader in tackles, passes defended, and interceptions all time, is the other safety.
It looked like a little confusion on the blocking in the backfield there. The two guys, the tight end and the fullback, ran into each other and didn't give a lot of opportunity for Williams on that run.
Lots of heavy sets on this opening drive for the Fort Worth offense. Curtis back to pass. Plenty of time to dump it down low, but Aaron Alexander can't come up with the grab, and it's 4th down and 7.
Love it when they get the fullback involved. Aaron Alexander there was wide open, but you kind of roll the dice when you try and throw to a fullback on anything other than a swing or a screen.
And they're going to be in field goal range for Taco Sicario. It'll be just about a 50-yarder to try and open up the scoring here on this Friday afternoon. Kick all the way from the right foot of Sicario, and it's right through there from just under half distance of the football field. And it's 3-0 Fort Worth, 8:22 to go in the opening quarter. An excellent, very controlled opening drive for the Toros.
Yeah, I like the way, to your point, I like the way they mixed it up. You saw a different, you saw a little bit of power, a little bit of the short pass, a little bit of the medium pass, but it looked as they got closer down there to the 50-yard line, the defense of Arizona just dug in and shut it down.
And Charles, this is an Arizona team, and head coach, defensive coordinator Eddie Gage in particular, who prides himself on his defense. And I think we saw a little bit of that towards the end of that drive, holding the Fort Worth Toros to a field goal. On the return is TJ Punk, the third-year player in the league. Second season here in Arizona, spent his rookie campaign with the Mexico City Aztecs. And he's a wide receiver as well on this Arizona team. Ashley Jackson is the quarterback. She's under center. Split backs behind her, with single receiver each side. 3-step drop, time to throw. Over the middle, down the seam. Pass is caught by Donnie Hands, who led the league last year in receiving yards with over 1,300, and also receiving touchdowns with 10, and he makes a very nice start to today's game on the offensive side.
Arizona's quarterback Jackson last week had a great game. 78 completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. I think in order for Fort Worth to get the advantage here, they got to do something to confuse her, either mix up the stunts, send an extra guy in. They got to hit her and make her think about what she's going to do when she gets the ball.
Allowed an extra tight end for this run from DJ Moses off the left-hand side. Pick him up about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. Let's run through the Arizona offense for you. Ashley Jackson at quarterback, DJ Moses at running back. The Hands brothers, Donnie and James at wide receiver, along with TJ Punk and Will Todd, who came over from Atlanta in the offseason, filling the tight end position. Sean Crooked and EJ DeQ are on the offensive line. And off tackle to the left, DJ Moses, but he's stacked up and drops short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
I kind of think if Jason would have just lowered his helmet and did a little bull run there, he could have got that first down. I think the spins kind of hurt him. Sometimes they work, but when you got a team like Fort Worth, fast and well disciplined, it's not going to work too often.
Safety Delaney Nash came up and made the stop. And now on 3rd and 1, let's see if they go back to the running game. Offset eye. They will go strong side to the left, and DJ Moses gets blown up in the backfield, and it will be a 4th down play. Excellent tackle by E.K. Vinson, the veteran outside linebacker. I didn't even have a chance to go over the Fort Worth defense. I will do that next time Arizona has the ball. Punter Brian Clouds set to kick this one away. Cade Stevens back deep to return.
E.K. Vinson was shot out of a cannon on that last play.
Stevens nowhere to run. He's brought down at the 15-yard line. Deep field position for the Toros to work with. Last week, Cameron Curtis, not the start he wanted to this season. 14 of 28 for 148 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. In a loss to Queen City to the middle from Curtis. Nice grab in traffic to pick up 9.5 for Robert Garrett Jr., one of the top tight ends in the SFL. Had 78 yards last week and 767 last year, along with 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, a little sneaky play there by Fort Worth. They lined up in a 22 set, and everyone thought it was going to be a run, and they just dinked it off to the tight end.
Here is the run. Jason Williams does just enough to move the chains for a first down. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game all into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations, and real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And Williams gets a nice block and scampers for 8 yards off another off-tackle run. Both teams going to that early and often in this game.
Yeah, smart play calling by the Fort Worth offense. They lined up Garrett in the flex position, making the defense think there was going to be a pass on that one, and they just did an outside run to Williams and executed perfectly.
I formation, another strong run here on 2nd and short. They're going to give it to Williams, and he's crunched under a sea of red defenders before he can get to the line to gain 3rd and short. Coming up to make that tackle was Iverson Gamble, the corner.
He got in that gap really quickly. Good read by Iverson Gamble, and we got a big 3rd down here early in the game.
Just shy of the 40-yard line of Fort Worth. They're in the same formation, but Curtis is going to throw. Going to step up in the pocket, shovel it underneath, and a brilliant little strategy to pick up the first down as Williams gets there on the shovel pass.
Hats off to Cameron Curtis, showing discipline in the pocket. It looked like it was all caving in, and he was going to get sandwiched by the defensive ends of Arizona. He was just patient, able to just dump it off to his halfback and get a first down.
One of the most legendary plays in SFL history was the shovel pass for the DC Dragons to win the championship all the way back against the Mexico City Aztecs. So at that point, with the Gorillas, as a pass is in and out of the hands of Parker Thomas. Already has 1 interception on this season. Can't quite make it 2.
Now, Michael, I think this game is going to go down to the wire, and plays like that, opportunities missed, I think for the losing team, they're going to look back and going to haunt them.
I think this will be pretty much the opposite of the game I called last week, which was the offensive slugfest in London between London and Atlanta. I think this, if you're a betting man, you'd take the under. 2 fantastic defenses, but this time Williams off the right-hand side, and it needs Bernard Smith to bring him down out past midfield as Fort Worth moves the chains again.
Picture perfect blocking on the end there. Look at that. Fullback ran down, just took out the safety, and Williams had tons of room to run.
And another excellent block on that play by tight end Lauren Percoco. Didn't have a catch last week, but excellent in the blocking game, the 2nd season tight end. Fullback handoff. Alexander crunched down at the line of scrimmage by Sean Moore.
A nice read on the front there by Moore to shut down that run. That's needed because it looks like Williams is starting to heat up there, and Fort Worth's building up a little bit of momentum on offense.
18 carries, 91 yards on the ground for Williams last week. Handoff, left-hand side. Williams room to run again, and again he's close to a first down. Needed more to bring him down along with Bernard Smith. Those two have been everywhere, especially Smith. But if your free safety is making tackles on the running back this often early in a game, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, we talked about at the top of the game the battle in the trenches, and right now I'm going to give the edge to the Fort Worth offensive line going up against Arizona D.
Less than a yard, fullback dive. Alexander right through the middle, and he picks up a first down. Only had 1 carry last week, and he's doubled the amount of yards he gained on that carry right there on that run.
Coach Williams is using every card in the deck against Arizona. I've seen so many different formations and plays in this first quarter. It's amazing. I may have to send him a DM and see if he can give me some tips for Lone Star.
Check that. That was Bailey Rentley, backup running back on that play, not Aaron Alexander. My apologies. Either way, it's a first down for Fort Worth just outside the Arizona 30. They have dominated time of possession of this first half so far, but that's not the way you want to be going as Jason Williams takes a 2-yard loss in the backfield. Parker Thomas on the hit that time.
It's only a matter of time before they're going to break through that offensive line, but they got to mix it up like they're doing and just keep Arizona on their toes.
Single back. Williams gets the handoff and gets forward for 4. Nice stop in the middle by Iverson Gamble. But again, too many corners and safeties making hits on the running back here in the opening quarter.
They're right on the edge of field goal range here, Michael, and I'm sure they want to get in the end zone here, but field goals I don't think are going to do it against Arizona.
Well, you know that Taco Sicario has range. He's already hit a 49-yarder today. Curtis, short again, almost picked off. Sean Moore has been probably the standout player in this first quarter on the Arizona defense as he knocks down another pass.
Yeah, the linebackers of Arizona are very smart and very well disciplined, but I think Sean Moore is going to be hitting himself that he didn't pull that in.
That was, again, Bailey Rentley, backup running back out of the backfield. I wonder if something has happened to Aaron Alexander, who has not been on the field the latter part of this drive. They're going to go for another long field goal. This one slightly easier than the last one, which was 49. Put this one at 47 for Taco Sicario. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick on the way. And it is good from 47. So it's the Sicario show right now for Fort Worth as they lead 6-0.
Arizona's got to show something. I know they only had the ball once here, and they wound up punting it after 5 plays. They need a sustained drive. They need to walk away with something.
Especially because Fort Worth has been dominating time of possession with all the runs to Jason Williams being so successful on the first 2 drives. On the return, on an excellent job in coverage by the Fort Worth special teams unit. And PJ Punk only gets up to the 20-yard line, deep field position for Arizona. Our eye here on 1st and 10. And it's a handoff, strong side right. Blockers in front, and there goes DJ Moses down the sideline. One man's a beat, dragged down from behind. Touchdown, saving tackle by Eddie Bass.
Another example of great blocking on the edge there. Moses just took it and made the best of it. Great run there. That's what they need, a punch in the arm for the Arizona offense.
Check that. That was Marquise Reed on the last tackle. Confused 32 with 31. And that's the kind of running you want from Moses. Get him in the open field, and he's got breakaway speed. He gets the ball again, this time in a power capacity, and doesn't get anywhere with it. And it'll bring up 2nd down. But that's the end of a very, very fast first quarter. It's all Toros so far. They lead at 6-0. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Fatality Field in Phoenix, Arizona. The hometown Arizona Scorpions trail the Fort Worth Toros 6-0 as we start the second quarter. I'm Michael Torello. Charles Doherty is alongside me. Tristan Hadley and Mark Mello are on stats for us today. Throw from Jackson out to the far side. Donnie Hands makes his second catch of the game for a gain of 3. And in the first quarter, Charles, it went by so fast, but that's because it was so dominant from the run game of the Toros and Jason Williams.
Yeah, they dominated time of possession, and Arizona, like as I said at the end of the first quarter, Arizona's got to do something here. Because so far they haven't, they only had the ball once, and they died in their possession. Let's see if they can put it into at least a field goal.
And this is only the second possession of the game for Arizona. Jackson out of the gun for one of the few times today. Tipped and almost caught by Donnie Hands. Can't bring it in off the deflection. Was knocked up into the air by Delaney Nash.
This is going to be quite a battle. We talked about in the trenches, but also it's going to be curious to see how they use the Hands brothers against this stout secondary of Fort Worth. They tested them there twice on deep passes, and so far they're 1 for 2.
Once again, it's 1 first down and done for the Arizona offense on only their second possession. Low snap for Brian Clouds. Cade Stevens back deep to receive. He'll take a fair catch at the 11, and once again, the onus is on the Arizona defense to come through.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has been in that position before. They know what they need to do. Shut them down, turn the ball over, maybe get the ball back, capitalize on some of the mistakes that were they were provided a couple opportunities in the first quarter, and they didn't capitalize on it. Now we're at the point where they need to start executing on some of the mistakes Fort Worth makes.
Power I for Fort Worth to start their possession. 4 down linemen, linebackers playing well back. Handoff goes to Jason Williams. Up the middle, won't get very far. Falls forward for 5 yards and an Eddie Gage tackle. Last season, Fort Worth's defense tops in the league in points against per game with only 18.6 on average. Arizona not up to their usual tricks on defense, allowed almost 30 points a game. And Eddie Gage not very happy with that. I'm sure he wants to be a lot better this season. Here's Jason Williams, and he doesn't get much off the left-hand side, but he's already up to 54 yards on 12 carries, which, if he continues at this rate, he'll double what he had last game.
Definitely. I think that's what Fort Worth wanted to do. They wanted to make sure he was a big part of the offense, and I really like what they're doing.
Curtis slings it sidearm. It's picked off on a deflection. That might be the break Arizona needed. It's the first interception of the season for Vernard Smith.
They are instantly in scoring position here, at least a field goal. That's a rare mistake you see from Garrett there, bobbling the ball. He had a clean route, wasn't covered at all until after a step or two. And, that type of mistake, they capitalized on it, and now Arizona's in the position to hit the scoreboard.
It was just right place, right time for Smith as he picked it up out of the air off the deflection. And now Arizona and company are set up at the 20-yard line. Jackson out of the backfield to Moses. Moses breaks a tackle and scampers for 8 yards, pushed out of bounds by Delaney Nash.
Yeah. He's showing his versatility there, dangerous on both the run game and the pass game. And he's Michael. He's tricky fast. I mean, he doesn't look like when you see his body type, he doesn't look like he's a real fast runner. But when he gets the ball, he opens my eyes.
That was the 10th interception on the career of Vernard Smith in this only his second season. Another swing pass. Moses tried to spin. Can't get away from a tackle, but does pick up a first down. First and goal at the 9. As J.L. Browning, the other outside linebacker, paired with E.K. Vincent, made that tackle.
So far, so good for Arizona. They're in the critical part of the field here. No mistakes.
From the I formation. to the corner and caught by James Hands, his first catch of the day. Only moves 2 yards, second down and goal from the 6.
I honestly think, Michael, this is DJ Moses' time. Just run them until they can't run anymore.
Moses has been effective at least on 1 run today. 40 yards on 5 carries on the ground. And he dots the power I here on 2nd and goal. They do give it to him. Strong side run to the right, and the blocking is there, and nobody's going to touch DJ Moses as he rumbles in for 6 points.
Great blocking again on that edge, setting a good lane for Moses to do on the D gap there, and took it right in. Impressive. They did what they needed to do. They capitalized on the turnover that Fort Worth made.
Shout-outs to Will Todd and Nick Rockford for impressive blocks down the field that time to spring Moses for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. On for the extra point, Cliff Allen, his first action of the day. Not the best snap. The defensive line almost got there, but Allen does put the field goal up and through. So the 2 field goals by Fort Worth now look like missed opportunities as Arizona takes a turnover and turns it into 7 points, and they lead 7-6.
Let's see how Fort Worth responds here. So far, they've had a pretty good control of their offensive game plan, moving it down the field and only walking away with 2 field goals. Now they got to keep doing that. This time, maybe get in the end zone.
Stevens from the 3, up past the 20 and down to the 27-yard line. And if my math is correct, that takes Cade Stevens to over 1,000 kick return yards for his career. First and 10 for the Toros. 5-step drop for Curtis. Pressure coming from the backside, has to get rid of it quickly. And really not ready for the ball was Jason Williams as he loses a yard.
Yeah, I think, I don't think we'll see a replay here, but I think the quarterback Curtis was getting some heavy rush up the middle there, had to get rid of the ball, didn't put the ball, give good placement for the receiver to grab onto that, and the result was he hit the deck and no gain.
Back to the power I, a favorite of both of these teams so far. Strong side run to the left for Williams, but this time the backside of the defense collapses. And down goes Williams for another loss of 1. Max Knight, first time we've called the name of a defensive lineman for Arizona today, made a big stop.
Yeah, good discipline by the Arizona defense. They held their lane, didn't allow him to get on the outside, forced him inside. Max Knight just shut him down.
3rd down and 12. It's going to be on the arm of Curtis, moving to his right, throwing back across his body, and it's knocked away by Parker Thomas. And the Arizona defense, emboldened by their offensive production on the last drive, steps up and forces a 3-and-out.
Yeah, impressive series there for the Arizona defense. It looks like the momentum's starting to turn a little bit.
First punt of the day coming up for Ray Einhorn, back deep to receive TJ Punk. And it's going to be good field position for Arizona as Einhorn stands inside of his own 10-yard line. Einhorn gets the punt away. It is a nice punt, caught at the 40. And Punk doesn't get very much more past that, up to the 42. What changed that time for the Arizona defense, Charles, for them to be so successful and force the 3-and-out?
I think maybe they're settling down a little bit, starting to get an idea of what kind of offensive game plan Fort Worth is running. It probably had a couple words put in their ears by Eddie Gage on the sideline. Things like that, really add up.
Arizona offense back on the field. Ashley Jackson in the gun. 4 receivers to aim at. And she goes short underneath to Moses. Tries to spin out of a tackle, but he is brought down after a gain of only 2. Adam Leach there on the stop.
Ashley Jackson is continuing where she left off last week. She's really showing some composure there in the pocket. Really high completion percentage, around 85%. Not pushing the ball downfield too much, not making any mistakes. So far, so good.
331 yards and 3 touchdowns for Jackson in a win over the Florida Storm in week 1. This time pressure up the middle coming, got to get it away quickly, and DJ Moses loses a yard. Excellent tackle right there by the corner. I think that was Aiden Davis who made the stop.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty play, but you saw Ashley Jackson did a quick read through her progressions. Everyone was covered downfield, did the smart thing, dumped it off to the halfback to see what they could do with the ball.
Now
instead
third
of forcing
and 8.
it and maybe getting an interception.
Yeah, sorry about that, Charles. 3rd and 8, and finally a 3rd down conversion for Arizona. They were 0 of 2 before that, but it's all reliable. Donnie Hands down the seam that picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, right, a seam route. Looks like they've gone that route a couple times today, and it's proven to be effective.
And you got Hands that time matched up against linebacker David Horrell, and the Hands wins that matchup 99 times out of 100. David Horrell's a fantastic linebacker, former #1 overall pick by the Toros for their inaugural season, but he's not going to out-cover a wide receiver like Hands. In the flat again, and DJ Moses again goes backwards. This time Blake Prine came up and laid the hit.
On this particular play, probably the only play for AJ where she might have got rid of the ball a little too early. She had a wide receiver wide open on an out route on the right side.
Under 5 minutes to go first half. A very fast-moving first half of football. Arizona still clinging to a 1-point lead. Down the middle to Will Todd. There's the tight end who came over from Atlanta in the offseason, taking his first catch of the game. It'll be 3rd and less than 1 after the pickup of 9. 4 receptions for 42 yards for Will Todd in his Arizona debut a week ago.
It looks like Coach Gage maybe found something on the Fort Worth defense in the middle from the short to mid-range area, because they've been running a lot of routes there and have been effective.
Attacking the triple linebacker setup of the Fort Worth Toros with the passing game, and this sets up the run. An excellent block springs Moses, and he's going to get down inside the 5. Touchdown saving tackle by Delaney Nash, and once again, it's blocking opens the lanes for Moses.
Moses, at this rate, Moses is going to have hit the century mark here in the first half. Great blocking again. I mean, I can't say it too much. The Arizona blocking has just been incredible.
Last time they were down inside the 5, it was on their last possession. Moses scampered in for an easy touchdown. This time they set the offset eye, power to the left. And they're going to throw. Jackson middle, caught for the touchdown. Once again, it's Donnie Hands breaking free of containment, and Arizona doubles the lead. There is a flag on the play. We will check what R62 has to say here, and it's against Fort Worth on a late hit, so the touchdown will stand. Arizona doubles the lead.
Yeah, AJ Jackson has full control of that offense. Great poise. I said that at the last series. She just stood in there patiently. She's going through progressions, not getting a lot of pressure. We said that was a key. So far, the Arizona offensive line has got an advantage over Fort Worth defense.
And there's still 5 minutes left in this second quarter, but it's been a tale of 2 quarters so far. Arizona anemic on offense through the first 11 minutes. And now they get the quick turnover, and it seems to have lit the fire under the Arizona offense as they score 14 straight points here in the second.
Yeah, we had a tie ball game, Michael, if they would have, Fort Worth would have been able to punch it in the end zone instead of with those field goals. So you got to give some credit to the defense on Arizona for keeping them out of the end zone, and so some really big plays here.
And now it looks like Fort Worth on that last series was struggling to find the consistency they had that got them those 2 field goals in the first quarter. Here's Cade Stevens, round a block to the left and gets up to the 27-yard line. Best starting field position for the Toros this afternoon. It is still early afternoon here in Phoenix, Arizona. Fort Worth and the Scorpions doing battle to open up week 2 of the SFL's 17th season here on FTF. First and 10, I formation, Cade Stevens. Hands it off left to Jason Williams. Williams gets 2 blocks and gets 9 yards. Eventually tackled by Bernard Smith out there at the 36-yard line.
Fort Worth has plenty of time to do something, get some points on the board here. I think they need to continue that ball control, eat up some clock. They don't want to put the ball back in AJ's hands because the Arizona offense is on fire.
They'll go I formation again, this time up the middle, close to a first down. They're going to give it to Jason Williams as he got clobbered by Parker Thomas, but he did enough to move the chains.
I think the wide receivers for Fort Worth have only been targeted once. For Fort Worth, have only been targeted once.
It's been power run so far. Williams gets 2 yards off the right-hand side. Eddie Gage made the stop. The SFL invades Houston August 6th to 8th to induct the 2021 Hall of Fame class, showcase live and in-person Week 3 action, and to connect with the SFL community from all around the world. Look out for live camera feeds from the event on our Twitch channel all weekend long at twitch.tv/simulationfl. And that convention now, Charles, just 7 days away. I get on a plane in less than that to get over to Houston. I'm very, very excited as a pass incomplete, broken up by Joey Tropicana, 3rd down.
Getting those vocal cords ready for some singing for the SFL fans. Hey, Michael?
I said we will see.
He's taking requests, folks.
3rd down and 8 for Fort Worth. This will be a big one because if Arizona gets the ball back with this much time on the clock, they can easily make it a 3-score game before halftime. Over the middle, that pass is caught, and dragging defenders for a first down is Cade Stevens, his first catch of the ball game, and that's a clutch 3rd down conversion for the Toros.
Yeah, clutch play by Cade Stevens, but also a great pass by Cameron Curtis. He was starting to get some pressure on the outside, closing down quick, gunned it in there right in a small hole, and Cade Stevens executed.
That is the 2-minute warning. Arizona on tap, 14-6. The Fort Worth Toros trying to even up before the break. We'll be back after this. This is the SFL Friday. This is SFL Football Friday, presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Under 2 minutes to go, first half. Arizona 14, Fort Worth 6 here at Fatality Field in Phoenix. The SFL on a Friday afternoon. Deep shot by Curtis. He's got a receiver inside the 30-yard line as climbing the ladder was Stephen Hacker to make the reception.
It looked like somebody missed their assignment there on defense. Hacker was wide open.
To be fair to Hacker, it was a great catch, but not the best throw by Curtis as he had to kind of reach back for it. Either way, it's a first down, and the defense was ready for the handoff to Jason Williams. Mark Mello into the backfield in anger as his 15 sacks and 31 tackles for loss both led the SFL last season.
Speaking of sacks, Michael, I thought we were going to see a lot more here in the first half. So far, 0.
Yeah, both offensive lines doing very well, both in the pass blocking and run blocking games. And with the amount of talent that both of these defensive lines has, is once again Jason Williams goes backwards and Fort Worth calls a timeout. That time it looked like Alex Constantine and Max Knight got back there. But the offensive lines have been doing very well, especially in the pass blocking game.
Yeah, most definitely. And those blocks on the edge have been textbook for both teams.
3rd down and 14. What can Curtis produce here to keep the drive alive? He's got pressure up the middle and he goes down. They're going to call it an incomplete pass because the ball was leaving his hand, but D.D. Sachs had his arms wrapped around Curtis's midsection well before that and is going to force another field goal attempt for Taco Sicario.
Yeah, great job by defensive end D.D. Sachs, but you got to give credit to the Arizona secondary. They held their coverage just long enough for D.D. Sachs to make a move on the quarterback.
And it's going to be another long field goal. He's hit from 49. He's hit from 47. This will be from about 49 as well. Sicario swings the right leg through the football and he missed it. 1 for 2 goes Sicario. He misses a second one from 49.
Oh, I thought it was taco time, but they ripped that one right away from me.
Just barely wide to the right. It was close enough to where up here in the booth I thought it was good until I saw the referee wave his arms in front of his chest. Don't forget, coming up at the half, Cameron Irvine and Tom Welsh talk about the first half between the Toros and the Scorpions. We update you on the action going on around the league, and we'll get to know more about the life and experience of studio guest Tom Welsh. It's all about coming up on the APM Music halftime reports. Catch out of the backfield by DJ Moses on first down. Sets up a 2nd and 4. Another exact same play out to Moses. Tries to make a jump cut. Does pick up the first down, but is wrapped up by David Horan.
I think the best thing that happened for Arizona was stopping the clock so they could get another play set out there. I don't think they were going to be able to make it in the end zone stuck in that play formation.
34 seconds left. Arizona does have 3 timeouts, so they can be rather aggressive here with 34 seconds to go. 3 wide set, Jackson under center. Jackson quickly underneath. James Hands gets out of bounds, and Arizona is well and truly in the 2-minute drill.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job. Great discipline for the offense of Arizona. They know where they are on the field, getting out of bounds in time, stopping the clock.
It would be a real crushing blow to Fort Worth, who were so dominant in the first quarter, did everything but put the ball in the end zone, and then Arizona has just come back with a vengeance here in the second. 14 straight points, looking to make it more here just before the break. Jackson on a 5-step drop, plenty of time to throw, but has to dump it off to Moses, and Moses saves Jackson from a pretty embarrassing sequences of events there. She looked like she held onto the ball for far too long. Up-tempo offense coming down now for Arizona. 11 seconds left. Remember, they do have 3 timeouts, and Jackson goes down. They're still not going to call time. 5 seconds left. They're not in field goal range, and now they do with 3 seconds left. And you got to say, poor time management by Eddie Gage on the sideline.
Yeah, I cursed them, Michael. I was saying great things about how disciplined they were, but it broke down quick. This could wind up, having to pay for it here in the second half. they had a huge opportunity for widening the lead.
I can't understand with 3 timeouts left and 30 seconds, and the seam routes have been doing so well to James Hands and to TJ Punk and DJ Moses. Why don't you go back to that, because you can stop the clock if you make a catch in bounds. Either way, it's going to be a heave to the end zone for Ashley Jackson here to end the first half. Jackson spins away, goes down. Nobody open downfield. It's a sack to end the half, and Arizona cannot capitalize on a last-second possession, but they do go into the break up 14-6 after a dominant second quarter erased the early deficit from Fort Worth. Coming up in the break, it's Cameron Irvine and Tom Welch.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report. Arizona leads Fort Worth at the half, 14-6, thanks to Ashley Jackson's stupendous 15 of 16 passing, 93 yards and a touchdown in the first half, thanks to Tristan Hatley and Mark Mello and crew for these first half stats. Along with Tom Welsh, SFL Director of Communications, I'm Cameron Irvine here back at the studios. Tom, what'd you think of that first half? It's a little bit of a slow start for Arizona, but they recovered.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a slugfest. DJ Moses is looking real good. Cam Curtis is kind of off to a slow start again. I was really hoping he would bounce back from his game last week, but Arizona's defense is looking real good, and DJ Moses is kind of carving them up. So, it's a slugfest out there. Definitely not a 55-52 game like we had with Vancouver and DC, but yeah, it's huge.
Fort Worth, a little bit out of character. Taco Sicario missing the field goal. Aaron Alexander's been dealing with some kind of bug or something. It is hot there in Arizona. He may just be fatigued, but Fort Worth trying to avoid an 0-2 start, and that would not be good for the Toros who made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they were a big team last year with going 8-4 and making the playoffs, and 0-2 is not a good start. That's we know that all too well in San Diego, unfortunately. So,
hey, don't. It's a new season, right? And San Diego
is
got Houston a bit later. So right now we've got Denver and Atlanta. They just got underway. They're 4 minutes in. It's a scoreless game. Denver's got the ball around midfield. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on over there. Of course, Eric Price only had 3 incompletions, the rookie, in his first game in action last week against Jacksonville in that victory. So we'll see what's going on with them. But for now, let's meet the man behind the computer for a little bit, the man with the Jeff Gagne beard. We've got to have a beard off at some point in the off season. We got to figure this out. But Tom Welsh, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, this is the first time being interviewed here at halftime and first time being a studio guest. And what's Tom all about?
Yeah, you know, I'm thrilled to be here. Jeff, I think, has got me beat on the beard a little bit. You know, I look at it as I have nothing up top, and I can't just be all eyebrows. So I needed something bigger on my face, and you know, with quarantine and COVID and everything like that, I figured may as well just kind of grow it out a little bit more. I've always had it. Definitely, my personality is in my beard, so that's it. But you know, yeah, thrilled to be here. Thrilled to fill in for Mike. I mentioned to you earlier, if he doesn't want to come back, I will gladly take his job. You know, I love being a part of the league. I love being the director of communications and the social media director. And, you know, I'm the man behind most of the tweets and stuff we put out on Facebook and Twitter and just love being a part of the league and love that I found it. That's definitely for sure. So
how about outside the SFL? You've had a career in communications, done a lot of different things. What's that been like?
Yeah, I started off in television news. I was a videographer, won numerous awards doing that, and kind of made my way into social media and marketing and in the real estate field, and definitely do that. I coached volleyball for 15 years. I was the head coach at a junior college for the past 2 years, and you know, we got a new athletic director and he wanted to go in a different way, so I kind of semi-retired from coaching, just trying to decide if that's what I want to continue to do or if I want to kind of focus on real estate and marketing and go in that route. But definitely kind of spanned a lot of different things and been a part of a lot of different things in my life, and you know, just trying to put a stamp on everything that I do.
COVID presented huge challenges, especially for small colleges. I was an assistant sports information director at a NAIA small college, and yeah, March 2020 was kind of the end of it for a while, and it kind of left a lot of people reevaluating things. So we're certainly happy to have you here. You're also part of the San Diego Mavericks organization. What are you doing over there in San Diego?
Yeah, I'm the offensive coordinator for the Mavericks and our social media guy, and really looking to build upon what we did last year. And you know, we had a tough year last year, but we're a new team and building upon that and really kind of getting the guys progressed and building them up. And we have a great locker room and a great bunch of guys that want to win and are happy to be here. That's the biggest thing is, you know, even though we go 0-12, we're still happy to be here and be a part of the league. And I can't stress enough how awesome the locker room is and how awesome ownership is with Optimus. And, you know, me and Javier Vasquez and Liam Hammer, we work great together, and, you know, we're looking for big things, and we have a big game tonight against Houston, and it's definitely looking hopefully like it's going to go our way according to all of our sims and everything like that. So we're looking to kind of shock some people tonight, I think, and hopefully that's what we do.
And you're building a social media team, the league, as BDG Hollywood's doing BDG Hollywood things over in the other game, but the the league is so large, and outside of myself, we're all just trying to help out where we can in this league, and you're building up a great core of social media guys who's going to be helping us taking social media to the next level.
Yeah, you know, Jay Williams ran our SFLM Twitter and everything like that last season. Was freaking awesome, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to help me out with. Javier Vasquez helps out a lot with graphics, and pretty much if I'm not available to do something on a weekend, he helps out a lot. Frank Wade was huge last year with graphics in the playoffs. Definitely looking for big things out of him again this year, and Cam Curtis, over at Epic Esports, he's helped out a lot, and I look for his input a lot on things and his advice on things, and definitely looking for help whenever anybody wants to join and really kind of help build this department up and really do some big things. We have a lot of talented people out there that do stuff for their organizations and for their teams, and if we want, if they want to help out on the league side of things, that would be awesome. And definitely love all the work that my guys are doing right now, and looking for more.
BDG Hollywood got a long touchdown in the Atlanta-Denver game. Atlanta now leads 7-0. 4 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the first quarter. If you're watching Fort Worth and Arizona here on For the Fans, we will have bonus coverage of Denver and Atlanta coming up at the conclusion of the Scorpions and the Toros. Should be a great second half. Tom, great having you here in the studios. Thanks for letting us get to know you a little better. You have a lovely wife too, don't you? And she's she's upstairs working right now, probably watching you on TV, saying you better say something about me.
Yeah, she's got me on the phone. She's watching it while she works, and I kind of told her to sneak downstairs when she could to kind of see everything. But yeah, she's awesome. She lets me do what I do, and she's a big supporter of the league, and doesn't hate that my weekends are taken up all the time. So sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. So
we all need great support systems around here, trying to make this big ball of sim football go. Thanks, Tom, for being here at the half. We'll have more from Tom in game breaks, post game, all that good stuff throughout the day. But for now, Arizona leads Fort Worth 14-6. We'll get you back out to the second half after these messages. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report, and you're watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans.
Welcome back to Fatality Field in Phoenix, Arizona. It is time for the second half between the Arizona Scorpions and the Fort Worth Toros. Hello and a very warm welcome back to the booth. My name is Michael Tremillo. Charles Jockety is alongside me, along with Tristan Hatley and Mark Mello on stats. 14-7, Arizona leads Fort Worth. He missed the first half. 2 first-quarter field goals by Taco Sicario gave the Toros the lead, but then it was a interception and subsequent touchdown, and then another touchdown for Arizona to put them on top 14-6. Charles, your impressions from the first half of football?
This is going to be, this early third quarter is going to be a big test to see how Fort Worth can, right the ship. That might be too drastic to say, but they missed on a couple opportunities to put touchdowns on the board. They missed the field goal. They did have their one saving grace was they did shut down the drive of Arizona late in the first half, but other than that, I think everything's pointing towards Arizona from a momentum standpoint.
First play for the Scorpions was not the best. Jackson off target intended for Moses. And now they go back to the running formation, and DJ Moses gets the ball out of the backfield, rumbling down the left-hand sideline, and will pick up a first down at the 34-yard line. That was very close, but he did get there. Adam Leach made the tackle.
And Moses had a very solid first half. He's getting close to 100 yards here. He's averaging 9.9 yards a carry and a touchdown.
I checked that was Marquise Reed on the last stop. And now from a heavy run formation to a heavy pass formation, Jackson dumps it short. And that is Roscoe Justice, backup wide receiver, in on this pass-heavy set, picks up 4 yards, 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of games, broadcast games with AJ as the quarterback, and this is probably the first one I've done where I haven't seen her put that many balls, deep throws, because I don't know, the game plan isn't really getting her to test that secondary of Fort Worth.
Look out, DJ Moses. He goes backwards a couple of yards. That'll set up 3rd and 10. Lost 4. But to your point about Ashley Jackson, interceptions has been an issue for her throughout her career. Career numbers for Jackson, 107 touchdowns, 149 interceptions. She does go deep here and finds Donnie Hands running free down the sideline, down to the 26-yard line.
She must have heard me. That was a really great pass. Donnie Hands was wide open, and he's having a pretty good go at it today as well. He's getting close to 100 yards receiving.
He has the 1 receiving touchdown on the game, does Donnie Hands. Reminder, he led the SFL in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns a season ago with 1,377 and 10 respectively. And he's up to 88 yards receiving today on 5 catches. Now deep into Fort Worth territory at the 25-yard line. Spin move gets DJ Moses free and down to the 21, gain of 5. And this is not the start you wanted if you're Fort Worth in the second half, because potentially go down 2 scores here.
Yeah, definitely on their heels. They're going to need to dig in here, and maybe they can cause a turnover or something to get the ball back and get a little momentum on their side.
Another handoff to Moses, gets nothing, sets up 3rd and 5. And I'm not saying that Fort Worth can't come back from a 2-score deficit. It's just that on current form, their offense hasn't really performed so far today. Only 6 points. They've struggled when they get down towards the red zone. And I just think they can't let this game get too far out of hand early in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I think the key thing to highlight here is Arizona hasn't made any mistakes, and I hope I don't curse them by saying that, but they've been pretty clean so far.
Keep the ball on the ground in 3rd and 5, and DJ Moses can't do enough dancing to get away from the entirety of the Fort Worth defense. It's a 4th down, and it will force a field goal attempt. David Horrell was the eventual recipient of the tackle after he missed about 3. Made 3 tacklers miss before that, but it's going to be the first attempt at a field goal today for Cliff Allen. It'll be the shortest field goal attempt by anybody today. This will be a 38-yarder abouts. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So it's 17-6, an 11-point lead for Arizona. And now, here is the big question. Did Fort Worth make the adjustments on offense that they needed to in the locker room to get at this Arizona defense?
Yeah, and the other point is there's no time to panic yet. I mean, there's still a lot of time in the game, and the deficit, 2 scores, that's nothing for Fort Worth.
It's Fort Worth a season ago averaged 24 points a game. Excuse me, 27 points a game. Both offenses of these teams were in the top 10 in points per game. Arizona scored 30, Fort Worth 27.
First and 10 from 25 yards.
First and 10 from the 25 after the return by Cade Stevens. Over the middle and incomplete, out of the reach of the intended receiver. That was Lauren Percoco.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Cameron Curtis is. It seems like he's a little off today. His passes haven't been as crisp as I've seen in the past.
They'll go back to the run formation. They've had more success running the ball with Jason Williams than throwing it with Curtis, and Williams gets away with one tackle, tries to spit out of another one, but Eddie Gage, he's too much of a veteran player to be fooled by that, and he brings him down, and it's 3rd and 4.
Yeah, 3rd and 4. They got to get this first down. I suggest they have a quick, short drop, get rid of the ball quick, because if Cameron Curtis is to stay in that pocket too long, he's going to get a hit.
Curtis, pressure from the backside immediately, and he throws a pick. Second of the day for Bernard Smith at midfield, and it goes from bad to worse for Fort Worth as Arizona takes back over in plus territory.
If you look at the route here, it looks like the receiver was blanketed the entire time. There wasn't any, I don't think there was any way you could have got that ball to, it looks like it was intended for Hacker.
I understand Cameron Curtis trying to go to his best receiver on 3rd down. Sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you, and it wasn't giving you that. Bernard Smith catches in. His 2nd pick of the day, number 11 for his career. This is only his 2nd season in the league. So very promising start to a career for Bernard Smith. A.J. Jackson and Arizona back on offense, and once again, there's Donnie Hand showing up and making a catch.
Yep, they're playing very crisp. I mean, good execution. Haven't made many mistakes at all. Haven't given anything for Fort Worth to capitalize on.
This is probably one of the cleanest games I've seen from Arizona in their, couple of seasons that they've been in Arizona past the sale of the OKC Renegades. Handoff, Moses. Right through the middle. Again, good blocks to spring Moses, and he scampers out to the 30, picks up a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, the offensive game plan for Arizona is just, it's solid. It seems like like I said, they haven't made any mistakes. Not many calls have gone for negative yardage. We had those 2 sacks at the end of the half, but other than that, everything else has been positive.
Those 2 sacks were really the result of formation and timing, not anything wrong that the Arizona offense did scheme-wise. There's a dive from Moses, only gets 2, and it's 2nd down and 8.
And the other thing is, it looks like Arizona's starting to, eat up the clock as well. We're already at the 5-minute mark.
We mentioned off the air how fast that first quarter and that first half as a whole went. It feels like we've only been broadcasting for about half an hour. And here goes DJ Moses again. Nice tackle in space. And And that's Marquise Reed. He's made a couple of big stops today. He's a bit of a journeyman. First season in Fort Worth for Marquise Reed. He's played on London, St. Louis, and Vancouver before that in his 9-season SFL career.
That was a big tackle by Reed. He's got a handful so far today. He was the only one keeping Moses out of the end zone.
This time, flared to Donnie Hands. First down, and he tapped the toes in front of Adam Leach. Down to the 19-yard line inside the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone for the third time today for Arizona. 2 touchdowns on the previous 2 trips inside the 20 for the hometown team today.
Ashley Jackson has a 90% completion percentage, 20 for 22.
Whoa, well.
See? That's the curse of the broadcaster.
The curse of the commentator there, as she way overthrows Alan Seaton, the fullback. And it's second down and 10. That might be the only true mistake that Jackson has made so far today.
That was catchable.
I'd like to see you go down to the field and try and catch that pass.
It was catchable for Perillo, not for Doherty.
Second down and 10. Moses wrapped up and dropped. Excellent tackle by Aiden Davis off the backside. He came in on a corner blitz and found himself face full of running back.
Yeah, that was a great read by Aiden Davis and a lot of speed. He hit that gap quick, and Moses didn't have a chance.
Now 3rd and 10. Jackson back in the gun. Only a 3-man rush for Fort Worth. It's tipped up in the air and incomplete. Adam Leach prevents the touchdown and is going to force another field goal attempt for Cliff Allen.
That was a severely underthrown pass, and I don't think if there wasn't 2 defenders there, I don't think it would have hit the wide receiver either way.
So Allen now on for what is a relative chip shot, considering the field goals that have been hit in this game from 49, from 47, and from 39. This will be again from about 36. And it is up, and it is good. 20-6. Arizona continues to inch away. We'll be back after the break. You're watching SFL Football Friday, presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Stay with us. On a hot, hot day in July in Phoenix, Arizona, the hometown Scorpions lead the Fort Worth Toros 20-6. They have gone on a 20-0 run since the start of the second quarter. And Fort Worth reeling, looking for answers on offense. They'll start from the 30-yard line after the kickoff return by Cade Stevens. I'm Michael Tabello. Charles Doherty is alongside me in commentary. We're halfway through the third. And second verse same as the first for the Fort Worth offense to start the third quarter, Charles.
Yeah, the door is starting to close a little bit, and here's Fort Worth is going to need to kick that door open and get something going here.
I think they might need just a big play to spark their offense as Jason Williams tries to cut back inside. He's not had a bad day, 71 yards.
Yeah, no, not bad. Not bad at all. But I think they're starting to become a little bit one-dimensional here. I would at this point maybe push the ball a little deep, see what Hacker can do on a fade route.
Over the middle. Oh, that one was almost picked off, but it found its way into the hands of Robert Garrett Jr. Only the big tight end's second catch of the game, and it's his second big one.
That was a pretty darn good pass, though, by the quarterback. I mean, he had to get it past the defender, number 20 there. Really good pass. I know I've been, not saying the most positive things about Cameron Curtis, but he showed what he can do there on that one play.
That was a dart right between the safeties to the tight end. Moves the chains past midfield. They go back to the running game with Jason Williams, and he powers forward for 5 yards. Robert Garrett Jr. pretty much only makes big plays. A lifetime average yards per reception of 11.9.
Yeah, he's an amazing, one of, if not the best, him and Dags up there, 1 and 2 tight end. He's closing in on 100 yards as well today.
And close to going over 3,000 receiving yards for his career. Won't break it today, but likely next week for big number 44. Another run, not going much of anywhere. Nice tackle on the inside by Sean Moore, a name we called a lot in the first half. Second season veteran, spent the first season in Queen City. Now here at Arizona. Third down and 6. It's going to be on the arm of Cameron Curtis again. He stands in. He flips it to the far side. That pass is caught and just barely not able to get over the line to gain.
That was a very, very dangerous, not dangerous, a risky play. They lined up in a power formation, and they did a screen pass out of it. They had the right defense on there, the right personnel on there for Arizona to shut that down. I think they were expecting that swing pass.
That last play was a reception by fullback Aaron Alexander, who is back on the field. They snap it on 4th and 1. Cameron Curtis goes down the middle and has Garrett Jr. all the way down to the 11-yard line. What a gutsy call by the coaching staff for Fort Worth.
Yeah, that was gutsy. 4th and 1, they went for it. They put their foot on the door, and they're starting to open it back up here. And a good play to the tight end. I mean, he's probably over 100 by now, if not more.
Robert Garrett Jr. unofficially 60 yards, but I don't think that is factored in the most recent reception on our live stats. Once again, thank you to Mark Mello and Tristan Hatley doing a great job on the live stats for us. Now inside the red zone. 0 for 2 here on the day with 2 field goals for Fort Worth. And Jason Williams goes backwards 3 yards, and it's 2nd and 13.
Yeah, I think if they're going to turn this around, they're going to need to put more 3 wide receiver formations out there. I mean, they're lining up in a lot of power formations, and you're taking off some of your money and putting it on the sideline.
And the defense for Arizona has cued into the Jason Williams running game. It was working well in the first half, but ever since Arizona's made that adjustment, the passing game's been more efficient. And Cameron Curtis, he tried to go down the middle to find Robert Garrett Jr., and there was just nothing doing there. He was blanketed by Joey Tropicana.
Yeah, they were doing the Texas two-step there, and it looked like Garrett got hit in the back in his shoulder pads.
No flags came down, so Fort Worth now faces a 3rd and 13. They can get a fresh set of downs inside the 1, but you got to think you look to the end zone here if you're Cameron Curtis. He takes the bell tie snap back at the 20, floats into the end zone. It's tipped and incomplete. Parker Thomas knocked it away from Cade Stevens at its 4th down. And Fort Worth is about to go 0 for 3 from inside the red zone as out comes Taco Sicario to kick the field goal.
Yeah, that was a big stand there by the Arizona defense. It looked like they were Fort Worth was on their way into the end zone. They just dug their heels in, and Parker had a great play in the end zone.
But Arizona's now done that 3 times, denied Fort Worth good shots at touchdowns, and they've made that their MO here in this ball game. It's the bend, don't break defense. It bends once again as the field goal is good for Taco Sicario. He's 3 for 4 on the day. And it is 20-9, but field goals won't do it. Fort Worth gonna have to find the end zone if they want their way back into this one here late in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, like to your point, field goals won't do it, but Arizona is allowing Fort Worth to hang around there. They still have life in them.
28 seconds to go. Sicario kicks off TJ Punk back there to receive. I'm honestly surprised that TJ Punk doesn't even have a target on the offensive side of the ball for Arizona today. It's been the Donnie Hand show. Sometimes James gets in there and Will Todd has one, but TJ Punk has not been targeted.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a lot of 3 wide sets that have been running, so he hasn't been probably on the field enough to be targeted.
Or he's on the field like this in a run blocking capacity. 1st and 10 from the 23. 24 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Jackson back to pass, screen to Moses with some space to run. And he is brought down by E.K. Vinson, just short of the line of gain. Gain of 8, 3rd and 2. And that will likely bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter as we take a look at this replay.
Yeah, Moses has been doing it on both sides. That was Aaron. Moses has been doing it in the backfield running and also as a receiver. I mean, he's having a great day.
The clock ticks down. We end the 3rd. 4's up. We head to the 4th quarter. Arizona trying to go 2-0. Fort Worth, can they get the comeback to avoid going 0-2? This is the SFL Football Friday presented by APM Music on For the Fans. Welcome back. It's the fourth quarter here in Phoenix, Arizona. The hometown Arizona Scorpions hold a 20-9 lead over the Fort Worth Toros. Michael Turillo. Charles Doherty is alongside me. And going backwards is DJ Moses, and we have time to send it to the studio. Cameron Irvine has a game break for us. Cam, what you got?
Thank you, Turillo. Just before the end of the first half, Tom, Atlanta helps themselves out.
Yeah, huge turnover here, from the punt, and it's been a back and forth, just kind of gutsy game. So hopefully this turns into something.
The fumble by Ryan Roosevelt scooped up. Actually, the fumble by Ryan Roosevelt scooped up by Atlanta. They saved disaster, and the Swarm lead by 4. About to tack on a field goal. Back to Turillo and Charles in Phoenix.
Thank you, Cam. If anything else interesting happens in that Atlanta and Denver game, we will be sure to bring it to you. Atlanta currently leads Denver 10-6. Atlanta looking to bounce back from a tough loss to London in week 1. Short over the middle on 1st and 10 is caught. That's Will Todd, only his second catch of the day.
Yeah,
Excuse me, that's TJ Punk, his first both target and reception of the day, yes.
That was a big the play they were running while they were doing the highlights. That was another big pass to the tight end there that just barely made it across the first down yard.
Jackson under pressure and stretching out to make the catch is James Hands. Another clutch catch by a Arizona wideout today, and there's been a couple of them. Moves the chains again.
And Ashley Jackson put the ball, well, it wasn't the prettiest duck that flew out of the pond, but Hands was just lit up by Delaney Nash. Very impressive he was able to hold on to that ball.
Into Fort Worth territory now at the 45. Jackson lobs it up, knocked away. Excellent play on the outside by Adam Leach, because Donnie Hands was running free down the sideline.
A little more loft on that ball, Michael. We would have been singing a different tune.
Just barely getting his hands on that pass did Adam Leach.
Wow.
3 interceptions a season ago from Leach, and he took 2 back to the house. Still yet to make much of an impact on the stat sheet in this season. Only 2 tackles last week. 2nd down and 10. They hand it off to Moses, and Moses can't pick his way through. He's brought down by Marquise Reed.
Yeah, look, if Moses would have just put his head down and gone straight up the field, I think he would have got a pretty positive gain there. Look, he kept running down the sidelines and actually just ran into a defender.
I think for DJ Moses on a couple of runs today, and I'll get to my point after this 3rd down and 10 play for A.J. Jackson and the rest of the Arizona offense. He stands right at midfield. She throws down the middle of the field. It's tipped and incomplete. It was looking for James Hands again, and him and Delaney Nash were doing battle down the field. And it will be a punt attempt for Brian Clouds, as Arizona's not quite in field goal range. My point I wanted to make for DJ Moses, and he's a veteran. This is his 5th season in the league. But sometimes he lets perfect be the enemy of good on those interior runs. He tries to find the perfect hole that'll get him a big gain instead of just taking 5 yards at a time.
Yeah, I mean, on that last play that you were referring to, he could have just leaned forward and got 2.
Either way, it's 1st down for Fort Worth after the 2nd punt of the game for Brian Clouds.
Big test for Fort Worth, Michael. They're deep in their own territory. They're down by 2 scores. Only 8 minutes left.
They're going to have to go and go quickly, but they're in the power eye here from their own 11-yard line. Their best player on offense has been Jason Williams today, but they're going to trust him here, and he tries to bounce it outside and is dragged down from behind. I believe that was by Eddie Gage. who took him down. And Cameron Irvine has another game break for us. Atlanta and Denver picking up the heat over there, Cam.
Thank you, Michael. Not in the way you might expect, though. Tom, Denver missing one Kramer Jackman.
Man, this has got to be at least the first missed field goal in about 2 years. You know, huge missed field goal for Denver.
Atlanta leads 13-6 at the half off the missed field goal by the Nightwings. Back to Michael and Charles in Phoenix.
Thank you, Cam. A bit of a shocker over there, and a bit of a shocker here as well, as the Fort Worth offense still hasn't gotten going yet today. They face a 3rd and 6 deep in their own territory. Curtis is going to throw, and he's going to connect down the field. And a first down all the way out to the 33-yard line. That is Lauren Percoco on the catch, the second tight end on the depth chart.
Yeah, love it when they get the second tight end involved in the game. And it looks like Fort Worth offense has hung their hat on the power formation. They're putting it on the field a lot. It's a little curious being down by 2 scores, but they executed well on that one play.
Still plenty of time left, 7.5 minutes and counting for the Toros to find something in this game. Remember, they haven't, well, no, that's a lie. They hadn't scored since the first quarter, and then on their last possession, they drove down to the red zone and got a field goal. Sidearm pass, finds Jason Williams, and Jason Williams has a first down.
Most of the halfbacks in this league, when they catch a swing pass like that, especially one that wasn't perfectly, placed in the hands of the running back, most running backs run out of bounds, and most of the time for a loss. But Williams showed his athleticism, was able to grab onto the ball, show balance, go upfield and get a really good gain.
First and 10, approaching midfield. Williams, and there was a missed block in front of him. And Williams did not get very far. Second down and 6.
Iverson Gamble held on to Williams just long enough for Eddie Gage to come in and just high-low him.
Single receiver each side on 2nd and 6. Curtis changes the play at the line. No extra pressure brought, just the 4-man rush. And it looked like a bubble screen gone wrong, as there was nobody to bubble for Jason Williams as he loses 2 yards, 3rd down and 8.
Big 3rd down and 8 here. 3rd and 8 on the 45-yard line. They're getting into, on the right side of the 50, but if they don't make it here, they're going to really be in a hole.
Need really to get to the opposing 45 for a first down. Curtis under pressure. Curtis throws, and it's incomplete. He had to rush that one, and Eddie Gage knocked it down. 4th down and a punt coming up for Ray Einhorn. That play was made by Alex Constantine, shooting the gap and getting in Cameron Curtis's face.
Yeah, he just blew up the center, tossed him aside, and just made a beeline for the quarterback, and Curtis had to get rid of that ball quickly.
Probably lucky for his stat sheet that wasn't intercepted, but Ray Einhorn on to punt, gets this one away from around his own 45. Caught at the 20 by TJ Punk up to the 23-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. Hand off Moses, and now Arizona can start burning clock with under 6 minutes left and a 20-9 lead.
Yeah, it looks like they brought in that second tight end to help block and help milk the clock, like you said.
Another run, strong side right, trying to get outside, and Moses cannot escape David Horold. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
I think Fort Worth is in a position here where they can spare to be a little aggressive on this play.
What does Ashley Jackson do here? She's going to throw. She's got plenty of time in the pocket. And down the field, big game James. James Hands makes the catch at the 47 and puts a dagger in the Fort Worth comeback hopes.
It's the door starting to close again, and that was a perfect pass perfect composure in the pocket. It was breaking down, had a defensive lineman with a beeline to her, and she just put it where only hands could catch it.
High formation handoff. Moses trying to swim his way through. Gets to midfield and a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and consistently refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. From just inside the 50, no gain on the play. In fact, losing a yard on the play is DJ Moses as Joey Schwint knocked him down. And a unit that we have not talked about today, and that's a bad thing, is the Fort Worth defensive line. Jeff Duffy, Joey Schwint, and Gary Marks haven't really made much of an impact on this game.
Yeah, it's really shocking. I mean, hats off to the Arizona offensive line. They really held them in check. I was expecting a little more production out of that defensive line of Fort Worth.
Especially the 8th-season veteran Jeff Duffy. This is his first season away from his longtime home in Queen City, where he spent 7 seasons. Around the left-hand side goes Moses, and he's not going to get anywhere near the 1st down marker. Picks up 2, 4th down and 5. So a relatively short drive for Arizona, but they do burn a couple of minutes off the clock as we're now under 3 minutes to go in the ball game.
Yeah, let's see what Fort Worth does when they get the ball back. Last series, they were in a lot of power sets. Let's see if they go 3-4 wide and see if they can push it down the field, because they don't have time.
And they're going to have to go with only 2:30 left in the game once this punt gets away. Brian Cloud stands just behind his own 40-yard line. Cade Stevens back deep to receive. It's in the air. It's a fair catch at the 14. It's going to be a long field for Fort Worth, and we'll get to their drive after we get to this update from SFL Studios. Cam, what do you got?
Thanks, Cirillo. Tom, finally Denver able to strike in the end zone.
Eric Price, not showing that he's a rookie. He's almost staying perfect here to Mosley and back in the end zone.
24 of 26 so far. That game is tied. That bonus coverage comes your way next.
Throwing on the run and completing to Robert Garrett Jr. What an impressive pass by Curtis off his back foot there. And here comes the up-tempo offense for Fort Worth. Curtis slings it in the flats. And I believe that's Bailey Rentley will make the catch there. That's the 2-minute warning. And we will be right back with the conclusion of this one. Fort Worth try to pull off the miracle. This is the SFL Friday Football, presented by APM Music on FTF. 2 minutes to go. Fort Worth try to pull it, and Preble will come back here down 20-9. They're at their own 34-yard line, and it's almost picked off. Sean Moore couldn't quite control it, and Fort Worth got away with one there, 3rd down.
He's got a couple pass deflections today. I mean, keep throwing it his way, he's going to grab onto one of them.
He had one interception last season, which was his rookie season. Still yet to get one here in season 17. Curtis into traffic and caught into Arizona territory. Timeout, Fort Worth.
They are putting it on the back of Robert Garrett. He was in a very small hole there, and Curtis was able to just rifle it in there. Great pass by that quarterback of Fort Worth.
Robert Garrett Jr. makes another big catch to extend the drive. Now into Arizona territory at the 42-yard line. Back to pass Curtis. This time it's picked off. And that might just be the nail in the coffin from Parker Thomas. He climbed the ladder and he grabbed the hopes and dreams of Fort Worth and snatched them out of the air.
Yeah, it looks like they were going to the fullback on that play, and to my point earlier, I as an offensive, or when I was an offensive coordinator, throwing it down to the fullback, anything other than a swing is a roll of the dice.
An acrobatic interception by Thomas. And down the middle, an interesting call to pass there by Arizona. There's 1:45 left.
That's a head scratcher, Michael.
He was looking for Will Todd on the crossing route. Excuse me, she was looking for Will Todd on the crossing route, was A.J. Jackson. They're still in a passing formation here. They could pull a dive or an off-tackle run, but not usually. They will run the ball on a dive and force Fort Worth to burn their second timeout.
Wow. Let's just hope they run it again. You don't want to make a mistake. I mean, so far, Ashley Jackson, she hasn't thrown an interception in 2 games, so, don't make the odds go against her.
And if they're not going to run it, because Jackson is in the gun with 4 wide receivers. Jackson fires, intercepted! The worst possible outcome for Arizona. Aiden Davis takes it away, his second pick of the season.
Yeah, that was, sorry, AJ. I don't know why they were passing it. I mean, that was another head scratcher. I mean, they're in command of the game here, but teams have scored twice with less time on the board.
It's gonna have to be a quick touchdown and a onside kick for Fort Worth. Curtis, late blitz coming. It's not picked up. He has to get rid of the ball quickly. And Jason Williams, couldn't get out of bounds. Clock runs, minute 21 to go. Again, a flare to Williams.
Not in the right formation, Michael. Definitely not. They're in a power set here, and they're trying to score.
Fort Worth burns their final timeout to try and fix the formation with a minute 17 to go. On 3rd and 10, Curtis shorts, looking for Alexander again, and it's 4th down, and this is essentially 4th and ball game.
Yeah, Sean Moore is really showing what he can do on the field. I mean, he's batted down a bunch of balls, and I think Eddie's probably screaming somewhere, hold on to the ball.
Once again, it's a non-swing pass attempt to the fullback, which you already mentioned that as an offensive coordinator, you're not a fan of.
Definitely not. And I can say that too because my player's a fullback. I don't want to pass deep.
Now this is an interesting decision. It's a 51-yard field goal attempt for Taco Sicario. He missed from 49 earlier in the ball game. Kick is away. And Sicario nails it from 50. And now Fort Worth's got a hope for the onside kick recovery.
If my math is right, I think they're going to need 2 onside kicks. Is that right? No.
No, they're going to need a
2
2-point conversion, yes.
Yep. My math is not right.
Fort Worth barely alive in this one. Remember, onside kicks is not something you usually get a lot of recoveries in the SFL, and they won't get one here. It's picked up by Arizona.
I think we can say now that the door is closed unless Arizona tries to pass it again.
Reggie Rose, the wide receiver playing special teams, picked up that ball. And it's victory, victory, victory formation for the Arizona Scorpions. They will go to 2-0 as they look to chase the playoffs. Fort Worth, who a lot of people thought coming into the season would be a perennial contender or borderline contender, starts 0-2.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm actually surprised. Fort Worth started off pretty strong. I mean, they didn't get into the end zone, but I thought they were going to put more than 12 on the board.
It was defense, defense, defense that won the ball game for Arizona, and Ashley Jackson and company on offense did just enough to get it done. If they kneel it one more time, they don't have to snap it again, and that's the ball game. Coming up after a brief post-game report from myself and Charles, we'll head out to bonus coverage of Denver and Atlanta with Tyler Falk and Eddie Gage. 4 more games for you on this Friday. Beyond that, Andy Hamilton and Gerald Giudice have the call at 6 p.m. Eastern for Sioux Falls at Tulsa. Carolina hosts Mexico City with Devon Simeon and Wade Phillips at 6:20 p.m. on Twitch. That's the SFL Twitch. On FTF Twitch at 8 p.m., Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson have the call of Las Vegas against DC. And on the SFL Twitch channel, it's Christian Curtis and Brett Solberg for Houston and San Diego at 8:20. We move to the post-game recap. Charles, your thoughts on this when Arizona comes out with a 20-12 win?
Hey, you got to hats off to the Arizona defense. I mean, they held the powerhouse in check. No touchdowns scored by Fort Worth, and I would never put my money on that going into this game. But the defense of Arizona is just opening up eyes across the league, and I think a lot of coaches out there are going to start studying some tape on the Arizona defense and see what they can put in their playbook.
This is going to be an interesting player of the game to call, because usually the quarterback will get it, but I don't think either quarterback was groundbreaking in their numbers and approach today. So who do you think walks out with player of the game in your opinion?
Well, I was going to say Ashley Jackson until she threw that interception. Now I'm going to lean towards Moses, DJ Moses, the halfback. I mean, he did get a touchdown. He's barely shy of 100 running, but he's got 129 total all-purpose yards. And he was very dependable. So mine goes to Moses.
I think I'm going to give mine to Donnie Hands. He was the release valve for Ashley Jackson down the field, scored a passing touchdown, or receiving touchdown rather, and had a couple of good plays on third down to extend drives for Arizona. So I'm going to go with Donnie Hands. But it was a defensive slugfest, and Arizona keeps Fort Worth out of the end zone entirely. 4 field goals is all the Toros got, and despite a late interception, thrown by Ashley Jackson to Aiden Davis. The defense of the Scorpions does enough.
When you hold an offense to under 20 points, under 300 yards passing and under 100 yards rushing, you know you're doing something right. And again, Arizona defense game plan is going to be looked at a lot this week.
Offensive coordinators, good luck scheduling for this team. DJ Moses gets the player of the game, 92 rushing yards, and a touchdown as well as 45 through the air. That'll do it for us. For Mark Mello and Tristan Hadley on stats, Tom Walsh and Kevin Irvine in the studio, Charles Doherty here on Analysis with me. My name is Michael Trillo. We'll see you next time, but right now we're singing to Tatterfall Kennedy Gage. Here's the bonus coverage of Atlanta against Denver. Take it away, gentlemen.
PM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. And Riley Quintero gets his return start from the 2, angles it near side and tries to get through a couple of tackles, and he's taken down at the 28-yard line. We want to welcome everyone joining us from the Arizona and Fort Worth game. Great call, Michael Turillo and Charles Doherty. Welcome everyone to the Hive here in Atlanta, Georgia. The Swarm have a 23-13 lead, and it's been a quarterback duel. No interceptions for either quarterback, and both quarterbacks playing extremely well, especially this quarterback, Eric Price, the rookie. As he's back to pass again, he floats it outside to Bryce Battle, and that's his 26th completion on 30 attempts, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Atlanta continues to give them everything they want underneath, but Denver has been unable to turn those drives into touchdowns because they refuse to allow anything over the top.
And they've just been able to get maybe 5 yards of play, 10 yards of play. Eric Price not being too picky and been able to find his receivers in space. However, one strong suit for this Atlanta defense has been the ability to get to Bailey O'Shaughnessy in the backfield for another tackle for loss.
Another tackle for loss. This time it was outside linebacker Cree Higgins leading the way along with 2 other defenders to make that tackle. They haven't done well with the pass rush, but they've done a great job containing this run game.
Offset eye now for Denver here on 3rd down. Price floats it over the middle, and that time it's going to be incomplete. Too often we've seen today that pass be caught, and this time Aquantis Shine knocks it away for a quick 3 and out.
Aquantis Shine, Hall of Fame linebacker, 2nd all-time in tackles. This time showing he can cover wide receivers too.
On a punt this one away is Matty Wiseman. Ryan Roosevelt waits in his own territory, awaiting the return. As Roosevelt will elect to return this one from the 29-yard line, tries to go up the middle, and he's taken down at the 33-yard line. So on comes Bryant Dynasty and the Swarm, just looking to maybe salt this one away and keep as much possession as possible.
Yeah, at this point, you just wonder, will Atlanta continue to be aggressive, or they look to try to burn time off the clock? I think you play to win and try to stay aggressive.
Offset single back here on 1st down for the Swarm. Dicey's back to throw. He'll dump it off for BDG on the far side, who spins away from one, heads up the sideline, and he'll go into Denver territory on the first play of the drive, down to the 48.
Yeah, Jamal Wooding didn't get involved too much in the passing game thus far today, but he did a great job of getting out in front of his running back, trying to get him additional yardage with a great block on Jose Fuentes and trying to get downfield and get a block on another defender.
He was able to spin out of the tackle there by Nick Kindler, and then Jose Fuentes eventually did get to him.
Talk about never giving up. He was blocked on a play, but still came up with the tackle.
That's the heart and dedication from the man formerly from Sioux Falls. That's something that Denver has looked forward to seeing him do. This will be a third offsides penalty on the Denver Nightwings, and this will result in a free play, and BDG picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards.
Yeah, Denver, they had a lot of transition this offseason, but it was primarily on the offensive side of the football. But again, as you said, undisciplined football with their third penalty thus far on this contest. You know, they're just allowing Atlanta to continue to come out with these free plays on offense.
So maybe a little bit more coaching up will the new head coach Adam Weisman have to do, especially for his defense, as Atlanta elects to take the penalty. And so it'll be another first down and 5 to go from the 43. Denver show blitz as they'll go with BDG on the far side as he nearly was sprung free, but he is able to pick up the first down before being absolutely trucked by Adam Weisman.
You know, I would never second guess BDG, but if he cuts left instead of right, he is still running right now, Tyler.
He'd be loose again for his second long run of the football game. That time only 5 yards, but it does result in a new set of downs for Atlanta. Quick pass, and he's all alone down the far sideline, down to the 9. That's Boo Chisholm.
And if Boo Chisholm can catch that ball cleanly, that's a touchdown. But yet, still, he flips the field and setting up Atlanta inside the SFL red zone yet again.
Good reading of the defense by Bryant Dynasty. He didn't have the football for a whole lot of time and just able to find Boo Chisholm there on the far side, and it's 1st and goal Swarm.
Well, he didn't have to. It was a fade route. He's his primary receiver on that play. And once Denver showed that cover 2 look, I believe it was either that or 3 strong, it was only a matter of time before he got the ball to his receiver.
They'll go ISO up the middle for BDG, sneaking through defenders and picking up solid yardage down to the Denver 3.
BDG is only, he's less than 6 feet, so perhaps they couldn't see him, but he was able to work his way through defenders, and almost scored a touchdown that play.
So one former champ taking it to the current champs, the Atlanta Swarm, looking to go up by 2 touchdowns plus. BDG on the far side, trying to spin around, and instead will be taken down behind the line of scrimmage for maybe a loss of 1.
Yeah, once again, for the second time in this half, Denver does a great job of stretching BDG out wide. As he wanted to go just outside the tackle there, he had to bring it out wide, and they were waiting for him.
Under 7 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Beat guy set, Hollywood on the call again, but he's only able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and so out comes the field goal unit for Atlanta.
Yeah, they undercut his legs and didn't give him an opportunity to score there. Great tackle out in the open field of BDG. That is not easy to do.
So on comes Sammy Steele to attempt what should be a chip shot from 21 yards out from the left hash.
Now, should he make this field goal, whether he does or not, it's still a 2-score game, and Denver still has plenty of opportunity to get back into this.
Plenty of opportunity and plenty of time. High snap, the kick is up, and it is through, and Atlanta extend the lead to 13. It's 26-13. Coverage of the SFL on For the Fans returns after the convention in Week 4, Sunday, August 15th. It's an epic slate featuring Brian Craven, Doug Day, and Cameron Collier of Louisiana welcoming their old team, Lone Star, down to the Bayou. The high-flying DC Dragons in a rematch of last season's overtime thriller with the Mexico City Aztecs. Stay tuned to the SFL social channels and league website for updated kickoff times. Good return there from Riley Quintero, gets them to the 22, and out comes Denver. Like you mentioned there, Eddie, still got plenty of opportunity and plenty of time to put some more points up on the board and get back in this thing.
6:02 left. Do not panic. Stick to the script. Just find a way to finish these drives instead of settle for field goal attempts.
Shotgun set here on first down. We might see a heavy dose of passing from the Nightwings. It'll start with a dump off to O'Shaughnessy, and O'Shaughnessy stumbles a little bit and will be taken down for a loss of 2.
Closing speed is what that was. J-Rock flew to the football and met him behind the line of scrimmage.
That's something that this Atlanta Swarm have been talking up all offseason is this rookie, J-Rock, the corner, second-round pick from Madison, has a lot of closing speed, like you mentioned there, Eddie. 2nd and 12 now for the Nightwings. Split back formation. Price takes a 5-step drop, looking for an out route near side. Has his man who slips away from the tackle and then walks out of bounds. That's Logan Keel on the reception.
This 44 defense, it's been bend but not break. They continue to force Eric Price to throw this ball out short and try to get these receivers to make a play. Thus far, they have been unable to. Great game plan thus far by this coaching staff of Atlanta.
So 3rd and 5 coming up as Shaughnessy gets the call, and maybe an ill-advised call to go back to the run game. That has not been working today, and Atlanta stuff it. 4th and 8, deep in your own territory with 5 minutes to go. Eddie, do you even go for it in this situation? You might if you're a little bit risky.
Yeah, you would consider it, but considering it's under 5 minutes left, you have all 3 timeouts. But wow, if you don't make it, you're going to be putting your defense in a critical spot, but there's not much time left.
So Matty Wiseman able to punt this one away as pressure was coming, as Ryan Roosevelt calls for a fair catch at the 42, and it's a safe catch as he fumbled one earlier, but able to keep safe hands on it this time, and the Swarm will come back out on offense.
His coach probably told him, listen, young man, we're up 2 scores. Don't even think about it. Just call for a fair catch and get off the field.
There's Bryant Dynasty going back under center, offset single back. We might see a swing pass out to the far side. And indeed we do. EDG spins away from one, still fighting off defenders. That's 2 broken tackles and a first down for the 10-season vet, future Hall of Famer, BDG Hollywood.
And to point all that out, to finish that off, he did a great job of staying in bounds to keep the clock running.
That's what a 10-season vet will do. He has tremendous awareness and tremendous toughness. Every single play, he plays at 100% plus.
And you can see him holding on to the football with 2 hands as they were trying to strip that ball loose.
Trying everything is this Denver defense to stop this dangerous back. Offset eye behind Bryant Dynasty inside Denver territory. Handoff Hollywood near side, has a hole, and it quickly closes up after a pickup of 4 as the Denver Nightwings swarmed to the Swarm halfback.
You just talked about him being a Hall of Famer, and he just showed why right there. That play designed to go outside the right tackle. There was nothing there. He cut it up inside with a guard, actually just left, and still picked up 4 yards. Great run by BDG.
Atlanta just willing to milk as much time off his clock as possible, under 3.5 to go here in the last quarter of regulation. Denver show blitz up the middle as Atlanta continue to let the clock drain. Hollywood again on the call, has blockers, spins into the tackler and is taken down after a pickup of maybe 2. That's Nick Kindler, the 4-season vet, taking down the 10-season vet.
And I believe that was the left guard, number 76. Had he made that block, BDG scores a touchdown. He's going to walk into the end zone.
Denver just wanting to contain BDG, maybe pick up this 3rd down, which will be crucial for them. They're outside Sammy Steele's range, and they're going to need a stop here to contain any hopes that they will have a comeback in this one. Blitz being shown again by Denver. They'll back off. Dynasty looks near side. That's into double coverage, triple coverage. Picked off by Denver. And he fumbled the football. And it goes out of bounds, but Denver will retake possession on their own 30.
Talk about a crazy chain of events. Dynasty continues to flirt with disaster, and this time they make him pay. He throws his first interception of the season. It's batted around and eventually picked off by Vasquez, who returns, but Jamal Wooding does not giving up on a play, forces a fumble, but unfortunately for Atlanta, they are able to recover the football. And Denver, finally, after several attempts to pick that ball off, gets there first, and they needed it right here with just under 2.5 to play.
And that's not just the first for Denver, but that's the first turnover in this football game. A pretty clean performance, besides offsides penalties, but Price is going to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He was swarmed in the backfield, and it's a loss of 7.
Chris Porter.
They'll hurry back up to the line. Price again under center. Trips to his left. Play action. Pressure coming again. This time he's able to find his man on the out route and gets past the original line of scrimmage. And will mark him right at the line of scrimmage, for a pickup of 7.
And going to stop the clock to give them one more play before their 2-minute warning. So right now, Atlanta knows that Denver needs to pass the ball to get back into this contest. They're going to set that defensive line and turn them loose.
Send them all. Send the house. Try and get to this rookie quarterback. Throw him off his game. All slants pattern over the middle. Price under pressure, and he's able to get the pass off before he's taken down. So an incomplete pass, which stops the clock as Leo Jefferson that'll give him a quarterback hurry.
Yes, it will. And force an incomplete pass. This Atlanta defensive line, I mean, they haven't been most consistent today, but in the second half, they put on a better showing. And with Denver needing to pass, it's a lot easier to get to the quarterback.
All gun straights again. Do or die time. 4th and 10 from their 31. Price back to pass, out route, near side, well short of the marker. And Atlanta will take over with 2 minutes and 1 second to go.
The only good news about that play is that it's 1 second before the 2-minute warning, so we're going to get a free timeout. But, I mean, I don't care if they're in cover 12. You have to throw that ball up and hope one of your receivers can make a play. That was not the time to audible.
So after that, Denver is going to be backed up in their own territory on defense. Atlanta maybe just at field goal range. So all they have to do now is milk the clock, make Denver waste their timeouts, and this should be their ball game. Dynasty over the middle. That's nearly picked off. I don't understand why you would throw in that situation, and it nearly backfired on him. But we've reached the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. Atlanta leading and have the football with 2 minutes to go. Week 2 continues Saturday on Next Level Sports. Coverage starts at 2:30 p.m. Eastern with the Louisiana Revolution taking on the Charleston Predators, followed by the Battle of Florida between the Storm and the Jacksonville Kings. Bonus coverage includes London, Queen City, and Vancouver Lone Star. DDG does get the call here on 2nd down and has plenty of room to run there on the far side, picking up 8 yards, and Denver will indeed use a timeout there, Eddie Gage.
Now, Denver just burned their first timeout. It's 3rd and 2. If they can get off the field, they are still within this contest because they can complete 2 touchdowns and convert 2 2-point conversions. Despite the difficulty, it is possible, but they got to find a way to get off the field here on 3rd down.
Absolutely, and we're going to need a little bit of magic and a little bit of luck to make it happen. Hand off Hollywood up the middle. He stopped for a gain of 1 yard short of the marker. And indeed, Atlanta will have to send out the kicking team.
Yeah, so Sammy's still going to come out onto the field here. Attempt was going to be about a 43-yard field goal. And Denver, their offense has not delivered today, but wow, I mean, they still have an opportunity here, but it's going to take a lot of things to go right for that to happen.
So Sammy Steele on to attempt his 5th field goal of the football game. He's hit from 45 earlier today. This one from 43. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. He's a perfect 5 for 5 on the day, and Atlanta stretched the lead. It's 29-13, and now a tough spot for this Denver offense coming up here, Eddie. Like you said, need 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions to make something happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tall task, but if anyone can do it, it's going to be these world champions, perhaps them in the Vancouver Legion. But I mean, never say never. We'll see how it unfolds here in a moment.
And it's all going to start with the return by Riley Quintero. His return starts right at the goal line, taking this one to the near side, then cuts it back to the middle, and he's taken down at the 23. So a tough, tall task, as you put it there, Eddie, for the rookie quarterback, Eric Price.
Yeah, I mean, he's not quite the veteran yet, at least, as Denver's quarterback who just won him a championship. But we'll see what he's made of here with 141 left.
3 wide receivers near side, Price under center. They'll go play action, and it's a quick dump off over the middle. That one's hauled in by Graham Canyon, and it's a first down, but they still got a long way to go. Under a minute 30 left to go now. Back in under center. Price back to pass again, looking far side. That's caught on the sideline, but inbounds though, Rulets. The clock continues to run. Only one timeout for Denver. They have to hurry up and get down the field in a much quicker pace than they're showing right now. Price, under center, still under center, now takes the snap, tries to find Graham Canyon again, and that one's nearly picked off. Incomplete, third down.
It should have been picked off. I thought it was going to be picked off after the deflection there, but they were unable to come down with it. But it does stop the clock for Denver.
So
despite the success that Denver has had with that play action pass, Atlanta has done a great job defending it.
Absolutely. This is 4-down territory the rest of the way, so this third down could result in a first down, or if they want to, they can throw it short. This time, deep pass, near side. That one's hauled in. Riley Quintero shoots off a tackle and then walks out of bounds with exactly 1 minute left to go.
35 of 42 for 318 yards. Sounds like a great day of offense, but they need to find a way to turn these drives into touchdowns if they're going to get back into this contest. Riley did a great job of fighting off the tackle and getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
So now into Atlanta territory on the 34. They're back in this formation that they've been going back to all game long. 3 wide and another play action pass. This time pressure comes from the outside, and it's BRV, Billy Ray Valentine in the sack. 2nd and 16, another play action. Price pumps once, finds his man on the outside, who falls out of bounds after picking up the reception. That's Bryce Battle.
Bryce Battle with another reception on this drive is going to stop the clock, keeping the little life that Denver has left. That pulse is fading away, but it's still breathing, and they still have an opportunity to come back into this ball game.
I think here, Eddie, they have to get into the end zone of the next 2 plays, or it might just be curtains for this Denver offense. Price back to pass again. It's a short pass underneath. Jeremy Mosley hauls it in, and Denver will use their final timeout on 4th down.
Out of the 4-4 defense, they play bend but don't break. Give them everything underneath and tackle them short of the line of game. Here they come out in cover 12, force them to throw the ball underneath, make the tackle short of the line of game again. They have to go for it here on 4th down.
Biggest play of the football game for the Atlanta defense coming up. Gun straight package. Price all over the gun. 4th in ball game. Price over the middle. That's caught by Riley Quintero for the first down. They can't stop the clock unless they spike it. Under 30 seconds to go. Price hurries to the line. And one of the members of Atlanta is slow to get up and get on their side of the football, which is taking more time off the clock as Price finally snaps it and stops the clock.
Stop the clock with 23 seconds. It's all or never. It's now or never for this Denver offense. They have to get into the end zone if they're going to give them offense a chance to even get an offside kick and try to work their way back downfield.
Denver needs a touchdown quickly in order to have a shot of coming back in this football game. 23 seconds left to go on the ticker. 3 wide. Eric Price in the gun with Bailey O'Shaughnessy to his left. Quick pass over the middle. Tipped and picked off. That's going to be ball game as it's hauled in by J. Rock to seal this one for the Swarm.
Yeah, they were unable to come down with the reception. It's batted off of his chest. I believe that was Jeremy Mosley on a deflection. And the ball bounces right up into J. Rock's hands. And that was a thanks for coming, good night, and drive home safely moment right there for this Atlanta offense.
Absolutely. Atlanta are back up into their own territory, but with Denver having no timeouts, they just need positive yards. The backups are in, and it's a handoff up to the right side by Riley Freeman for a pickup of 4, and the clock is just going to run out here, Eddie. The Swarm, the season 14 champs, take down the defending champs here at home.
Yeah, they did a great job of playing bend but don't break defense. Early on, it did not look like it was going to work out for them, but they continued to force Denver to fall short of the first down marker and either punt the ball away or set up a field goal attempt. They did not allow them to the end zone until late in this contest, and as a result of that, their offense did just enough. As Denver's defense came to play today as well. Atlanta exploded last week versus London. Denver, being the world champs they are, you knew they weren't going to give up that kind of production to this Atlanta offense. I don't care how good they are, but Atlanta did just enough to win, keep themselves separated from this Denver offense, so they can keep with their basic game plan coming into the contest. And Atlanta, after a heartbreaking loss last week, rebounds in front of their home fans and walks away with a much-needed W, as they did not want to start the season 0-2.
Absolutely. And it was a balanced game plan, both from BDG Hollywood on the ground and through Bryant Dynasty in the air, close to 260 yards for the man from Hawaii. And Atlanta will take home the victory. Eddie, who was your player of the game today?
I mean, despite some of the tough throws he made and ill-advised throws he made, I believe it's going to go to Bryant Dynasty. I mean, Ryan Roosevelt, the rookie, had a touchdown off his only catch. But I think just looking at the totality of how everything shaked out, Bryant Dynasty is going to win this play of the game. But I think some kudos should be given to his offensive line, who gave him the protection he needed to make those throws downfield.
Absolutely. Let's see who the pundits have picked for the player of the game. They're going to go with BDG Hollywood. 121 yards, 1 touchdown on the day, and a solid all-around performance for the Atlanta Swarm. Well, a special thanks goes out to Justin Reside, our statistician, and to Cameron Irvine, our producer and commissioner. And of course, Eddie, thanks for having me along for the ride. It's been a great day today here in Atlanta. The Swarm take home the victory, 29-13. You have been watching the SFL, presented by APM Music on Twitch. And until next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Post-game coverage comes up next.
Arizona, I love y'all. Let's go.
Welcome to the SFL post-game update along with Tom Welsh. I am Cameron Irvine, and a couple of great hard-fought games there, Tom, in the bonus coverage and then in our main game as well. All 4 teams under 30 points, a stark contrast to what we saw in the mayhem of last Sunday. And for our TV viewers, Vancouver beat DC 55-52 in overtime after our television coverage was done. So just craziness all around. But today a little bit more tempered.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, two slugfests pretty much in the first two games of the day, and it was a very different outcome than last week, that's for sure.
Let's go back to Fort Worth and Arizona here real quick. 20-12. Fort Worth now 0-2. That is a difficult spot for them to be in. Going into the convention next week, they will take on London, who has yet to play this week, but they're trying to get to an unbeaten record. Are you more impressed with Arizona starting 2-0 or more concerned about Fort Worth starting 0-2?
It's a little bit of both. I think Arizona starting 2-0 is pretty impressive. Their defense has been lights out pretty much for 2 weeks here. Fort Worth I'm a little disappointed in. I thought I expected kind of bigger things from them. But really, honestly, it's 2 one-score games in 2 weeks. It's definitely tough for Fort Worth to find positives and to move forward.
Eric, Denver lost 29-13 to Atlanta here in our bonus coverage game, but Eric Price continues to have an exceptional start to his rookie season. Did throw that pick right at the end of the game to J-Rock, but otherwise, Eric Price was pretty outstanding. Kind of feels like, though, maybe they should take the training wheels off of him in Week 3 when they take on Florida in that championship rematch.
Yeah, a lot of dink and dunks going on there in Denver, and Eric Price's his numbers are impressive. Pretty much having roughly around 10 incompletions in 2 games or so, somewhere around there. That's awesome, but when you're throwing 5-yard checkdowns and stuff like that, it's not going to get you much. And BDG Hollywood with 121 yards rushing in the player of the game, that's impressive. That's how Atlanta's going to win a lot of games, is by feeding that man the ball.
Ryan Roosevelt, first career touchdown. J-Rock had the interception. Big day for the rookies of Atlanta as well. All right, so we are wrapping up here on For the Fans across the globe, but we still got some Twitch action coming up later tonight. We have about a 1-hour break, and starting at 6 Eastern, Sioux Falls and Tulsa take the field. You can see the FTF Twitch doubleheader there with Sioux Falls, Tulsa, Vegas, D.C., and you can see Mexico City, Carolina, Houston, San Diego on the SFL's Twitch page. Besides San Diego, I know you're super pumped about that, Tom. What game here this evening catches your attention?
Mexico City and Carolina, the only 2 teams that won last week that are playing each other. Really looking forward to that, and then trying to see if Sioux Falls can continue to push on after they beat us last week.
That's it for SFL Football Friday on For the Fans. For Tom Welsh, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the SFL presented by APM Music. And just realized that we were not at halftime, but, oh well, it's post-game. People know at home.
They get it.
Better late than never. There's your post-game. All right, for Tom, I'm Cam. We'll see you in a couple of weeks on For the Fans. Good night.